Welcome back, and it's nice talking to you from a wet Karoo. And let's have another talking technical. Thank you so much for all the requests. I mean, we get it weekly. A few weeks ago, I just rushed through a lot of the emails that I received. This week, again, some nice requests. And the first one that we would like to show you is John's request of MTN. I mean, a friend of mine the other day said, Frans, but this is the new star of this market. This share is just going higher and higher and higher. I mean, just look at this, John. I think it's on its way to get to this magical 200 Rand level. And can you guys remember when this share had trouble getting their money? I think it was out of Nigeria and everybody was worried. But what happened since then? I mean, the company just recovered wonderfully well. I mean, from 100 Rand to 200 Rand in a matter of a few months. I mean, let's just look at and see where it comes from. And can you believe that? I mean, I just want to even go a little bit on the line, and then you can see. John, you will maybe remember that the levels of about 58 Rand was there in October 2021. But at the moment, John, the share looks absolutely fantastic. If I look at this trend line, just have a look at this trend line. It is just going beautifully up every time that it reaches this trend line. And I've got a friend that's got a few of these shares, and he is quite happy with them. He just said to me, Frans, this share is going much higher, and of course 200 Rand. And but look what this share is doing, and this is maybe a good idea to look at the acting of a share, or look at the way the share reacts. Let's just see. From about February 21, it did exactly the same. It consolidated a little bit, it rallied up, consolidated a little bit, rallied up, consolidated long time, then suddenly rallied up again, and there you are, pull back a little, rally up. And this is almost symptomatic of the share. After a little bit of a pullback, it gives us this beautiful rally. Even here, for a few months, it struggled a little bit around this 163 level, and now it's rallying again. So unfortunately, if I look at this chart, I just say, this is a lamp pull formation. That will make me a little bit worried. And then what I will say to myself is, maybe if you want to buy, John, wait for it to pull back. Instead of just going in and buying it. If I must say that it must pull back, let's just show you where it can maybe pull back to, and that is 175 Rand. I mean, that is a place where you can maybe wait for it. Maybe it will give us a few days or a week or two that it consolidates there. If you do buy it at this 175 level, make use of a stop loss of 167.50. I personally believe that this share is first going to show us that it can reach 200 Rand. I just want to have a look at the candles, if you don't mind. There you are, strong rally, and suddenly my eye is seeing something, and this makes me worry. And maybe I can just show the viewers here. Let's just bring that line up there. There's a beautiful lamp pull formation, but look at this gap. This gap is between 176 and 174.34. Now, I've got an idea that it can easily pull back to close this gap, and then of course it can consolidate, and then it can rally up. And this little candle that developed now on Tuesday is telling us that the buyers are a little bit uncertain. Well, I'll also be uncertain if the share rallied from 155 to 191 in a matter of 5 trading days. That's a steep and a good run. So maybe, John, just be a little bit nervous that you just rush in and buy it. I gave you your stop loss, but I will prefer for this gap to close. And look what we see here. There's even a little gap down here. And a lot of people will now say to me, Frans, but that will never happen. And that gap is between 148.40 and 135.49. So that is your gap there. If another one, Ismail is asking us about Hulamin. Now, Hulamin is one of those penny stocks that actually did well. Let's have a look here. Hulamin, I just want to get it. There you are. And you're looking for an entry level, I think, Ismail. You said you want an entry level here. What I don't like about the share, I mean, look at this beautiful lamp pull formation that we've seen here. And you can see all these candles is in the range between 382 and 4.95. But you can see there's some buyers around here that doesn't want to see the share lower than about 4 rand, because every time that it gets there, look at this long lower shadow here. It tells you that there's a buyer around here. Even and on Monday, we had a guy that bought the share up all the way from about 4 rand. Exactly, there you are, 4 rand again. They're supporting it. But it looks like, for me, if I look at this chart, it looks like a rounding top. Now, a rounding top is usually just symptomatic of a share that just rallied way ahead of itself, and it maybe wants to pull back. So the best is to, John, is to draw this little line in, this support line, and say to yourself, wait, if this line breaks, it can easily maybe go back, and there you are, there's another gap. No, unfortunately, no, there's not a gap, sorry. If it breaks below this line, and there you are, 4 rand and 2 cents, then the share can actually easily give this a little bit of a pullback. And the reason why I'm saying that is simply because it had this steep rally up, a rounding top, and a rounding top usually triggers some selling, and it can take it down to the low of this candle, and that will be at 361. I believe these strong candles maybe can show us some support again in time to come at 328. So unfortunately, I will not buy it, but I mean, he's maybe a momentum trader. We know that this market is a momentum market. It just goes up every little dip, everybody comes in and buy it. So if you are a momentum trader, John, you need to wait and look at this symmetrical triangle, or some guys will say after this beautiful rally, we're actually seeing a flag formation. So above 452, you must get in and buy it. You must maybe make use of a stop loss of 4 rand, and your targets to the top is, let's just call them out, 464, 469, 470, 482, and maybe as high all the way back to 494. But I think if it gets to 494, we'll probably see 5 rand as well. Let's have a look at Rashid's question. And he's looking at Motus. He wants to know what is happening to Motus. Well, Rashid, if I'm looking at this chart, and I did not even look at the line chart, let's maybe see if the line chart shows us something different. No, the line chart actually tells us it can still go higher. It just made a new high. Let's just have a look at the candles. I mean, look at these upper shadows here. These upper shadows are telling us what? Every time that the share gets to this 120 rand level, there you are, there is some sellers selling into strength and say, listen, we maybe want to lock in some profit. So let's see where this piece of tops can actually give us a warning. There you are. And that warning will come evident below 115 rand and 6 cents. In actual fact, there's another low there, 115.05. So below 115.05, we can see this tweezer top coming into play, and it can easily take the share down. Look at these lower shadows, maybe down to 109.21, and even maybe down at 107. But look at all these lower shadows around this 105 rand level. I think it can maybe pull back to there. So if you do sell it below 105.05, lock in your profit. If you want to short it though, you can short sell it also below 105.05, but make use of a stop loss of 120 rand and 68 cents. At the moment, the medium to long term chart still looks very bullish. I mean, nice higher lows all the way. The trend is curving beautifully to the top. I mean, this company is making some good money. A nice share to have, but maybe for the short while, it may be just rallied away too far. Let's have a look at another favorite of the market, and that is ArcelorMittal. I mean, this share is treating people so well. I mean, somebody bought it below rand, and now it's trading at 10.28. Simple story again. Look at these shadows again, telling me that there's some sellers selling into strength, and every time that it gets to 10.50, now let's just have a show you all these are upper shadows. There's one, there's another one, there's two. It's a tiny one there. There's two, and there's another one. So it just tells me that the share is maybe preparing for a little bit of a sell-off. I know some guys will immediately say, but Frans, just have a look here, and I agree with you. I see a beautiful inverse head and shoulder here, of course. That's now back to the momentum traders. The momentum traders will say, listen, look at this beautiful left shoulder, the head and the right shoulder, and we can just fly up from here. We're going to buy it above 10.54. We're going to make use of a stop loss of 9.72, and our target to the top will be, let's just show you all the way from there. Just extend it just to give you an idea where it can go to, and then this share can go all the way back to 12 rand. I mean, but for me personally, I'm a little bit nervous. I always say to myself that if a share has such a beautiful rally, I'll be a little bit nervous just to chase the momentum. My problem is I've never been a momentum chaser, so I like a share that builds a nice base or a nice head and shoulder or a double bottom before I get in. I mean, for this share, I like the shadows. It tells me there's some sellers. And of course, below 8.87 rand, it can easily go down all the way down to 7.21. I mean, everybody else will say, Frans, you're wrong. We want to chase the momentum. So you can do that. If you want to do that, and make use of a stop loss of that 9.69 level. And the last one, Implats, for this segment. I mean, look at this share. Beautiful, strong rally. I mean, it just shows you that the momentum is still clearly to the top. Our time is almost out, so there's a symmetrical triangle there. Let's just have a look here. There's the symmetrical triangle. It needs to break above 238.86 to give us another move to the top. If you want to buy there, use a stop loss of 218.96. It can go to about 255. Another share that had a beautiful rally. And unfortunately, our time is out for this segment. And that was Anna's request. Anna, well, by the way, visit our website, www.fransdeklerk.com for more info. And we will chat again.